and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video. And today I decided to make this British new build site. So what is a British new build site, first of all, for anyone who doesn't know what that is? So there's loads of different houses in the UK, as there are in any country. Um, but within specifically the new builds, there's kind of like a bit of controversy regarding it, whether they are great or not. A lot of people don't like them, a lot of people love them, and it really just depends. It's up to you. But they're like popping around a lot within the UK, a lot. I've seen a lot more recently, or maybe it's just because I'm growing up and I'm now becoming more aware of their existence. But they've just like, I've been seeing a lot of them a lot recently. So I was like, okay, I feel like this is an important aspect of like British culture I should add to my British Sims 4 save file. So I was like struck with the inspiration last night at 11 o'clock, and then I just decided, you know what I'm going to do with my time instead of getting some sleep. I'm going to go and basically make the shell and most of the exterior for it, and then the next day I'm going to do most of the interior for it. So that's what I ended up doing. It's one of my quickest make to upload builds I've done in a long time, because normally I make something, leave it for a second, like sometimes even a week, come back to it, finish it, or it takes me 3 days to do it. And then to actually do the filming process, editing process, it takes me such a long time. It's took me roughly 24 hours from start to upload, about give or take 4 or 5 hours. So proud of myself for that. But yeah, anyways, I was struck with like inspiration to go and make this new build. So basically new builds are, as stated in the title, they're new builds. They're newly built houses. Haven't been around for quite a while. They last about, I think you can really classify a new build as a new build from like maybe 2010s or something like that. They have this distinctive look of being very what's the word? Looking very similar to each other. Like there's not a distinctive way of telling them apart. They look very copy and paste to each other. And I don't necessarily hate them. I prefer them in the way that moving into an old house scares me, because whatever has happened in that old house. But I can understand why people are um not too happy with new builds, just because they've got this eerie, almost, I don't want to say uncanny valley because that requires a human, but they've got this very simulation. They've got this very simulation-esqueness to them, just because they look so copy and paste and they appear so quickly. Like give it a year and the house is done, which doesn't seem like a long time, but I'm talking about like sites. Like I was originally going to call this the new build, British new build site, but I thought it was better to call it a neighborhood, but they normally are called sites. And it's just a lot of they normally utilize brownfield sites. Sometimes they use greenfield sites, but sometimes they use brownfield sites, and you'll be like living life, relaxing, and then you're driving and then you just see like construction in the corner of your car and you think, oh, okay, they're building houses. And then you drive by the same area and they've already got the foundations, they've already got the walls, and then you drive by the same area and then all of a sudden you're seeing houses and everything. Funnily enough, I see things like this when it comes to new builds. I see them, they're either in the process of being made or they're completely done. It's never in my head have I seen new builds where they're like somewhat there, like the done-ish kind of thing. Like well, I have seen one, but beyond that, normally they're just being made and then they're done. Like it's just such a quick adventure. But yeah, with these houses, this is what do you know what I've just realized looking at this? I put that wire white thing that I normally do when I make British builds on only like one set of the houses. I think I might just have to go back in my game before I upload it on the gallery and just put it on the other sets of the houses, because that really just adds to the vibe. Because the problem is as well, when I was making these builds, is that I can't make them it doesn't feel too realistic when I was creating them, just because it's just, again, the general architecture of these types of builds in the UK is very simplistic, very clean looking, not too much going on. So I think that's why I kind of I really did struggle a lot when it came to just trying to make it look as realistic as possible, because you guys know I really do love my realistic builds. But anyway, I digress. With this build, I had so much fun doing it. It was one of I say that all the time with all the builds, but I had so much fun doing it in the same way I had so much fun doing the student build and do the grocery build, because it was just from inception to creation. It wasn't something that I really faffed around with like a lot, because I think what was my previous build? My previous build is actually, now I'm realizing it. I've done, they're not similar, but they're too close to each other. I'm just realizing the celebrity home I created looks a little too close to this house. So, which means I need to do a completely different house for Friday's upload, but don't worry about that because I do have an idea in mind. I don't know if I should say it just in case I don't actually do it. Because if I don't do it, and I don't have the energy, I'll just upload the airport, because I'm in the process of editing the airport, the video for it for me to then upload, because what I believe is that the airport build will be a two-part, and I know two-parters aren't the nicest thing, but I will never upload a speed build that is over an hour long, because one, I can't talk for an hour and still have things to say, and two, I feel like it can just be a little bit too boring. So 9 times out of 10, the airport build is probably going to be a two-parter. So if I can't manage to do what I want to do on by Friday, then I'll just upload the airport, because I do want to start spending a lot more time concentrating on, finding jobs and stuff like that. And because I feel like that is the priority in my life at the moment, because God needs money. So I'm probably gonna just focus on that and just upload things that I have already done and had created. And hopefully, when I have a bit more time, I'm gonna be able to create what I want to create. I think I'm just gonna tell you guys what I want to create for the sake of, just so you guys know. I really want to create a medieval village. So with the castle stake here out, I was really inspired by it, and looking at it, I was like, I could create a medieval village. So the thought of doing that is making me feel like I really want to do it. Like I'm actually probably gonna have to fight myself tonight to not go and do it, because the energy I feel to go and make one is crazy. Because I just this is something. It's one thing that I have never created before, and two, it's gonna be so complex, but it's so fun, and it's gonna be so much more immersive, because with medieval villages, you can really add the dirt and the junk and the everything to it. But the problem is that I can already think of when it comes to doing a medieval village, like doing in any kind of historical build that's like predating the 1900s, is there's certain modernity things that have to be included within the build. So if I do a medieval build, it will be a residential rental, and I think what I'll include in it is like a bar slash pub, a armory, stables, maybe a dress shop. It really depends. I'm not too sure yet. I need to really plan out what I'm trying to create. I think that's one of the reasons why I decided to just make a new build site rather than make that. But with a medieval village, there's just like a lot of planning to do. But within that planning, I need to also plan around how I'm going to do the stuff for the modernity. So every single house that I'm aware of within the Sims has to have outdoor disposal, outdoor waste space, so outdoor bins, um which was hard to incorporate when I did the castle, because as I think you guys noticed, when I did the castle, I was just kind of like trying to hide things that have to be there. And I don't even think they use the right trash can either. I think they use a literal trash can instead of using the outdoor bins, which is, you know what, you go for it, you go do that. With the with with what else did I create? With the cabin, it doesn't matter too much, was that cabin can exist into today's reality. But with that medieval village, that's going to be really difficult. Because one, I need to find a way to hide all of those outdoor bins because, and I'm going to do an OCC, but I'll need to find a way to hide all of those outdoor bins. Also, I need to find a way. I think I could potentially utilize the spellcaster. What we got in spellcasters, I think, is either spellcasters or werewolves. Werewolves will be utilized a lot within this build. Not this one, but the medieval village one. I think I might just use the werewolf's mailbox. I think those are the peak of things that I need to include within builds that might like harm the modernity of it. But beyond that, I think it's gonna be fine. But I'm really excited to create that. I really want to take my time and really like do every little bit of it and make sure it's perfect and nice and everything like that. But even though when I say I'm gonna do every little bit of it, it will still remain as one unit is fully furnished and all of the community units are done, but everything else is just furnished in a way that it would be if you were to move in, which is what I did similarly for this new build site. So I furnished unit number 5. That is the one with the garage. That is the one that when you enter the premises, enter the lot, you look straight ahead, and then that is unit number 5. So that's the one I decided to furnish. And then the other ones, I did what I normally do when I make units and apartments and stuff like that. I did the kitchen. So because when you move into a house, you've already got the kitchens there. And then I did the bathrooms because that's what you also have when you move into a house. But one thing I forgot to do that I really should have done is put the radiators, because there's normally radiators already in your house when you move in. But then again, with radiators, it's really difficult because where you want to plan your house, radiators are different in The Sims compared to real life. In real life, when you move into a house, there are always gonna be radiators like everywhere. But within The Sims, it's a little bit difficult because you can't access the radiators at all times. So within The Sims, you really have to think about it and think, okay, I'm going to place this and then put the radiators. And I think when you see me furnish the houses, you're gonna see that as well. You're gonna see that I furnish and then I put the radiators in last because you can't access them at all. And sometimes I have to think to myself, do I want this to be accessible or do I just want it to look nice? And I think most of the time with this build, the radiators are there to just look nice, to look like radiators, not really anything else to them. But yeah, I am, like I said, kitchen's done, bathroom's done, no radiators, everything wallpapered and floored. But really, when you download it, go for it, do whatever you want with it. I always love seeing your video reviews of them. I love seeing how you guys choose to decorate them. I'll never forget the first ever time I saw someone who downloaded one of my builds and decorated them. I was just, it was like, it wasn't fully decorated. It was like changed up a little bit. And even still, I was just like, people do that. I love that. And it's just because I know you guys download them. I've seen on my gallery that you guys download them. I've seen in your comments you guys saying you download them. I've seen on the likes and the tray files that you guys like and download them on my Patreon, and I see it, but then like you don't see it. Like you see it, but you don't see it. But to actually see people playing with them, redecorating them, utilizing them as shells if they must, and all of that kind of jazz. It's just so nice to see. I think it's because I struggle to think myself on why anyone would download them. Not because I think they're bad, but because since I am a builder, I couldn't think of downloading a build. But then I have to remember that sometimes I download Sims because I'm not a cast girly. But I'm not a cast girly in The Sims. I'm a cast girly in real life. If you watch the Natural, you'll get the reference. But yeah, I'm not necessarily a cast girly. Like I used to be. But when it comes to making Sims purely for the sake of showcasing the house and stuff like that, I just get Sims straight off the gallery nowadays. Like I think for like 3 of the 74 uploads I have, they're from the gallery. They were for the castle. The castle was from the gallery I downloaded I just typed in princess in the gallery, and then I got like a list of different people. I got Belle first, so I utilized Belle. I just changed it up to monster because I think another thing within cast that I don't like just like touching up everything, because I am part of that majority within the Sims 4 that prefers creating women in the Sims, or women or female presenting Sims within the Sims, so because they're just so much more fun to do. But however, an issue with that is that they're also a lot more work to do, because you've got to do all of their makeup, you have to do the nails and everything like that. And I don't want to go out of the Sims and get MC Commander and tell them to apply it to everywhere. I want to do it whilst I'm still within the actual cast itself. So with that, it just becomes so long, but that's all I want to do. So I just end up not doing my Sims as much as anymore, or like what I did for this build. I just end up recycling Sims that I've had already that was saved in my library. So the Sims that I utilized in this build was Sims that I had in my library, because when I first downloaded the Sims 4 on my laptop, I was completely shocked with how well it runs, even though my laptop, I'm not going to discuss too deeply about my laptop because I always do that. But even though my laptop is not built to run this game, and it doesn't run this game as good as everyone else's laptops or can PCs probably do, because it's not a gaming one, it's one for, doing work and stuff like that. I was surprised with how smooth it ran compared to my old PC. Bear in mind, my PC is from like 2010, 2011. So I really shouldn't have been too shocked at the fact that it was going to run so much better on my laptop that's from, I think, 2020. So yeah, I was just honestly so happy with the way that it ran. I went off. Yeah. So when I first downloaded The Sims, I didn't download it straight away. I actually waited 2 to 3 years to download it. I tried to download it initially, but it didn't work because I downloaded it straight to the C drive, and then my computer was absolutely screaming at me for downloading it on the C drive. So then I got then I got a hard drive, a gaming one specifically, and it ran even slower on that. And I was like, you know what? This wasn't meant to be. I'm just going to leave it. But then I found out about SSDs, and apparently they're so much better. So I brought an SSD, and then I downloaded the game onto the SSD, and the way it ran was so beautiful and so amazing. And I was like, yeah, this has ruined me. And because since I downloaded it on my laptop, I was no longer forced to go on the desk for me to play The Sims. I now go on my desk to play The Sims for the sake of I need to get out of bed. But there was a period of time where I was just in bed playing The Sims. But no, I get out of bed now to play The Sims because I will not leave my bed if I do not do that. And yeah, I have these Sims that I created there because I actually created a new build from 2010, maybe 11. There's these ones in the UK that are like 4 stories high, and the bottom is normally just a garage, and then the living room is on the first or second floor, and then it ascends from then on. So I created this family, not the kids, just the parents for that specific build. But then I demolished that wall, got rid of everything on there, and then I started anew. And with what I have now started anew, I just brought them back from my library, and I was like, hey, how are you doing? You want to be, part of my world? Yeah. So, and then I just created them kids, and then I added them to this because I also don't necessarily like I've told you guys about the separate worlds. I've got the celebrity save file, I have the British save file, I have my baby, which is basically my favorite save file, which I like to keep up to date with anyone and everyone that's going on there. They are my babies, hence the name. And then I've got the save file called build build build, and with build build build, all I do is build the save file. So it's not necessarily people I want to keep up to date with. I'm not too fussed what's going on in their lives. I'm just kind of putting them there for the sake of the building, and whatever they continue to do with their lives is whatever they continue to do with their lives, but it's not necessarily something I'm particularly interested in or want to keep up to date with compared to like my baby or my celebrity save file. And that's why with this build, I was like, okay, with this build, I want to add sims that I care about. And I used to care about these sims because this save file is what is generations to come. There's going to be a lot of stuff that goes on with this save file. So I would prefer it if everyone on this file is just like, is interested and they have something going on, so I can always check back to them, and then I can start matchmaking them and then having things go on and on and on and on and on as I do. So I added them in, and I think this house perfectly suits them. I think this is something that is less extravagant as they once had it, but I feel like this is perfect for them. I think they could have had maybe like a little bit of a bigger house, but they are part of the biggest section of this neighborhood. And speaking of this neighborhood, the way that everything is sectioned out is not particularly like, not the houses aren't entirely the same. And I think you guys kind of noticed that when I was building. We have the house that I'm building, that I'm finishing now, and the house next to it on its left side. They are the biggest houses on the lot. They are all 3-bedroomed, 1 bathroom, because I struggle doing more than 1 bathroom in a house for whatever reason. Every single time I make a British build, there's never any room to make the cloakroom slash the cloakroom slash ground level bathroom. I could just never fit it in. So yeah, it's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a living room, kitchen, dining area, and a garage. That is the 2 biggest houses, and I think I honestly, the price of them has left my head, so actually never mind, I'm not going to tell you about that. And then we've got a 2-bedroom kitchen in the front with the just kitchen, no dining, and then the living room at the back. Those are the first and second houses. Those are the joint ones with protruding walls at the front. So they're on the right side if you just facing directly at the front. And then we have 2-bedroom kitchen and dining. The ones I was just stating are semi-detached. The one I'm decorating now is detached, and then the one I'm talking about right now is also semi-detached, but if I had space I would have just made it terraced. That is 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, kitchen and dining, and living room, I believe. But those are the smallest ones because they have less space, I believe. I'm not too sure. Like, I'm actually so confused. Like, I didn't just build this today. But yeah, that's what I have created in terms of the game. So yeah, the video's ending. So I'm gonna do my extra what's it called? My conclusion? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, and I'll see you guys with the next... Actually, before we go, we're at 1,900 subscribers. Specifically, last time I checked, 1,960 subscribers. We're very, very close to reaching 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, like, I don't mind if you don't subscribe, but please do if you can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.